Imagine this. A sticky summer night in Atlanta, the air thick with humidity and the relentless hum of cicadas. Suddenly, a voice rips through the stillness. "Hands up! Don't move!" 20-year-old Jada Williams freezes on a cracked sidewalk, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. Just moments ago, she was trudging home through the Georgia heat, lost in thoughts of her junior year at Morehouse College, classes starting soon, a marketing degree within reach, maybe even a shot at a big internship downtown. Now, she's staring down the barrels of police guns, their flashlights blinding her, accusing her of a gas station robbery she didn't commit. Her worn JanSport backpack, stuffed with a laptop, a tattered copy of The Bluest Eye, and a secret Department of Defense badge, feels like a lead weight on her shoulders. This isn't just a mix-up. It's a heart-pounding collision with a system that doesn't always see her, young, black, and fiercely ambitious, as innocent. Want to know how Jada's story unfolds? Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your country and the time you're watching. We're diving into a whirlwind that could change her life forever and maybe even make you question the justice you thought you knew. Jada's no stranger to the rhythm of Atlanta's streets. Born and raised in the southwest corner of the city, she's grown up dodging trouble like it's second nature. Navigating the creaky MARTA buses, the bodegas with their flickering signs, and the unspoken code of keeping your head low when sirens wail. She's the girl who knows every shortcut through the neighborhood, every Waffle House hack for a cheap meal, and which gas stations sling the iciest Slurpees to beat the summer scorch. At 20, Jada's got dreams bigger than the cramped two-bedroom apartment she shares with her mom, Tasha, and her 12-year-old brother Malik, a place where the AC wheezes and the walls are thin enough to hear every argument next door. Morehouse College is her golden ticket, her way out, and she's clawed her way there with late-night study sessions, summer shifts at Chick-fil-A, and a side gig flipping thrifted Jordans online. That Department of Defense badge tucked in her bag? It's her ace in the hole. A top-secret internship she snagged through a STEM program. A whisper of a future where she's not just surviving, but thriving. But tonight, as those red and blue lights flash in her face, all that grit, all that hustle, feels like it's slipping through her fingers. The scene explodes on a street etched into the soul of Atlanta, near the Chevron on Campbellton Road, where the pavement's perpetually tacky with spilled coke and the air carries a faint whiff of exhaust and fried chicken from the spot next door. It's a Thursday night, late August, the kind of evening where the city hums with a mix of exhaustion and restless energy, folks clocking out from work or prepping for the graveyard shift. Jada had just stepped off the 83 bus, her headphones pumping Megan Thee Stallion's latest, her mind replaying a day that felt like a win. A Zoom with her advisor about fall courses, a text from her best friend Keisha about a cookout Saturday, and a quiet vow to treat herself to Busy Bee's peach cobbler once her internship papers cleared. She's in her zone, hoodie pulled tight, backpack slung over one shoulder when the night flips into chaos, a jolt that yanks her from her daydreams into a nightmare she never saw coming. Picture Jada's world before the shouting starts. She's a junior at Morehouse, rocking a 3.8 GPA and a reputation as the dorm's playlist queen. Her Spotify mixes are the soundtrack to every late-night study sesh. Earlier today, she'd lingered at the Student Center, hammering out a group project on digital branding. Her team's presso is due next week, and Jada's not about to let them coast on her work. Her laptop's nestled in her JanSport, alongside her charger, a half-eaten granola bar, and that DoD badge she's sworn to keep under wraps. The 83 bus is her lifeline home. Same route every night. Past the murals on MLK Drive, the barbershops with their neon buzz, and the old-timers swapping tales on sagging porches. She swipes her Breeze card, claims her window seat, and lets the music drown out the world until her stop near Campbellton. It's routine, predictable, until tonight. The bus spits her out under a sky bruised purple and orange, the sun dipping low. A block ahead, she spots trouble brewing. 3 cop cars angled sloppily outside the Chevron, their lights slicing through the dusk. Jada's gut twists. She's seen this before, cops swarming over some minor drama, a busted window, or a loudmouth who wouldn't back down. She shifts her backpack, tugs her Morehouse 26 hoodie closer, and decide to detour. No sense wading through whatever mess is unfolding. She's got a shower calling her name, a FaceTime with Keisha to plan that cookout, and maybe a TikTok binge before bed. But before she can pivot, a voice booms, "Hey, you! Stop right there!" Her sneakers skid on the pavement. She glances back, praying it's not her, but a second bark. "You, in the hoodie, hands up!" snuffs that hope. Her breath hitches. She's not dressed for suspicion, just jeans, her faded hoodie, and beat-up Nikes. But her heart's racing like she's guilty of something. Two officers close in, their boots pounding the asphalt. The older one, badge gleaming under a streetlight, sizes her up with a squint, like he's already pegged her as the perp. His drawl drips with distrust. "What are you doing out here?" Jada's throat tightens, words sticking like glue. I'm just going home," she stammers, her voice wobbling despite her effort to keep it steady. "I live down the street." The younger cop, all wiry nerves and quick eyes, jumps in. "Gas station got hit 20 minutes ago. Female, hoodie, your height. That ring a bell?" Jada's mind spins. A robbery. She'd been on campus all day, coding in the lab, sipping burnt coffee in the lounge, surrounded by witnesses. "That's not me," she insists, hands high, palms open, echoing her mom's mantra. "Stay calm. Don't give 'em a reason." Across the street, phones are out, two guys filming, an older woman with a grocery bag muttering disapproval. The chevron's neon flickers, casting jagged shadows. Jada's seen the headlines, the viral clips of Atlanta PD clashing with folks who look like her, but starring in one? That's a plot twist she never signed up for. Let's peel back Jada's layers. She's more than a hoodie in the wrong place. She's the daughter of Tasha, a single mom who's worked double shifts at Grady Hospital for 15 years, and the big sister to Malik, a wiry kid obsessed with Fortnite and dreams of flying drones. Jada's the glue in their little trio, the one who cooks spaghetti on Tasha's late nights and quizzes Malik on his math homework. She's carried the weight of their hopes since she was old enough to know what making it means in a neighborhood where success is a long shot. Morehouse isn't just school, it's her rebellion against the stats that say she's more likely to drop out than graduate. That DOD badge. It's not just a job, it's a lifeline to a world where she's not defined by her zip code. She's spent years building this version of herself, sharp, driven, unbreakable, only to have it teeter on the edge of a cop's snap judgment. The tension thickens as the older officer steps closer, his flashlight raking over her. "Empty your bag," he grunts, like it's not a request. Jada hesitates. Her laptop's got her whole life on it, and that badge could spark questions she's not ready to answer. "I didn't do anything," she says, firmer now, though her hands tremble. The younger cop smirks. "Then you won't mind us checking." Her pulse thuds in her ears. She knows the drill, seen it play out on her block, on her phone screen, but living it feels surreal, like she slipped into someone else's story. The bystanders' murmurs grow louder. A car slows, its driver craning to see. Jada's not just a college kid anymore, she's a suspect, a silhouette in a narrative she didn't write. And as the officers loom, her future, Morehouse, the internship, the dreams she's bled for, hangs in a balance she can't control. What happens next? How does Jada navigate this razor's edge? Stick around, subscribe, tell us where you're watching from, and let's unpack this together. Her story's just beginning, and it's about to get real. The Atlanta night pulses with an electric unease, its humid air heavy with the mingled scents of gasoline, asphalt, and the faint sweetness of blooming magnolias. Under the flickering neon of a Chevron sign, Jada Williams, a 20-year-old Morehouse junior, stands rooted to the spot, her heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped bird. Her hands tremble in the air, raised in a gesture of surrender that feels both foreign and suffocating. Two officers, Jenkins and Reese, circle her with the precision of hawks, their eyes narrowed with the thrill of a hunt. They've pegged her as their gas station robbery suspect, a convenient fit for their narrative. But to Jada, this moment is a fault line cracking through the life she's built, a life woven from quiet ambition, guarded secrets, and dreams that stretch far beyond the red clay hills of Georgia. Jada is no ordinary college student. Beneath her faded JanSport backpack and well-worn jeans lies a mind honed by countless nights poring over calculus texts and a spirit forged in the crucible of her mother Tasha's relentless sacrifices. She's the first in her family to chase a degree, a STEM prodigy who clawed her way into a clandestine Department of Defense internship through sheer determination. That internship badge, nestled in her laptop pouch beside a dog-eared copy of Beloved, is both her golden ticket and a latent explosive. As Jenkins, a weathered cop with a buzz cut and a scowl etched deep from years of disillusionment, demands to see her bag, Jada's stomach lurches. She knows the badge could be her salvation, or her undoing if they dismiss it as a fraud. "It's just school stuff," she says, her voice catching, a quiver that betrays the steel she's trying to summon. Reese, the younger officer, lean and restless, seizes on her hesitation with a smirk that screams trouble. His wiry frame vibrates with the need to prove himself, to pin a win on someone, anyone. "We'll see about that," he mutters, reaching for her backpack with a casual arrogance that makes Jada's skin crawl. Her mind races, mapping out the fallout. The badge isn't just an ID, it's a testament to her place in a world that rarely opens its doors to girls like her, black, working class, from a brick duplex where the landlord's knocks are as regular as the sunrise. If they call it fake, her credibility, her future, everything she's fought for could unravel in an instant. Jenkins yanks the bag open with a grunt, tossing her spiral notebook and a half-eaten pack of Skittles onto the pavement like they're evidence of a crime. His fingers find the laptop pouch, and when he pulls out the badge, gleaming, official, with Jada Williams printed beside the DoD emblem, he freezes, his jaw tightening. "What the hell is this?" he demands, his Georgia drawl sharp enough to cut glass. Jada's throat constricts, her training kicking in. Keep the internship vague, don't mention classified data analysis, stay low-key. "It's an internship ID, government thing," she manages, hating the tremor in her words. Jenkins lets out a laugh, a harsh barking sound that echoes in the humid air. "You expect me to believe this? What did you do? Order it off the internet?" He tosses it to Reese, who squints at it, his smirk widening into something almost gleeful. "Nice try, kid. This is fake as hell." Before Jada can muster a defense, Reese grabs her arms, twisting them behind her back with a force that feels personal. The cold snap of handcuffs bites into her wrists and she winces, panic surging like a tidal wave. "Wait, I didn't do anything," she cries, her voice cracking under the weight of disbelief. But Jenkins is already barking orders, his authority absolute. "Get her in the car. We'll sort this out downtown." The squad car door swings open, and Jada's shoved inside, her backpack dumped unceremoniously beside her. Through the smudged window she glimpses a small crowd. A man filming with his iPhone, a woman muttering into her phone, perhaps calling for help or gossiping. Tears burn Jada's eyes as the car lurches forward, the Atlanta skyline blurring into a smear of lights. Her Morehouse scholarship, her internship, her mother's pride, it's all teetering on the edge of a precipice, and these cops, with their itchy trigger fingers and smug certainty, don't care. Jada Williams is no monolith. She's a mosaic of strength and vulnerability, ambition and doubt. Growing up in Atlanta's West End, where corner stores double as community hubs and gunshots punctuate the night, she learned to navigate a world that judged her by her skin, her zip code, her existence. Her mother, Tasha, a hospital orderly with hands calloused from bleach and overtime, drilled into Jada a relentless mantra. "You're enough, but you've got to prove it twice." That creed propelled Jada to Morehouse, where she's not just a student but a quiet insurgent, carving a path in computer science where black women are as rare as unicorns. Her DoD internship, analyzing encrypted datasets for national security, is her defiance, a middle finger to a system that expects her to settle for less. Yet, beneath her drive lies a fault line of fear. Jada's always been private, a habit forged in childhood when she'd overhear Tasha deflecting bill collectors or dodging nosy neighbors. The internship badge is her deepest secret, one she hasn't even shared with Keisha, her ride or die since 7th grade. It's not just pride, it's self-preservation. The DoD gig comes with strings, non-disclosure agreements, warnings about sensitive optics. As the squad car speeds toward the precinct, Jada's mind spirals. What if Miss Carter, my liaison, doesn't back me up? What if the feds ghost me to avoid a PR mess? Her faith, nurtured by her grandmother's dog-eared Bible and whispered prayers, frays under the strain. She's always been the strong one, helping Tasha balance the budget at 12, tutoring her little brother Malik through fractions. But now, cuffed and powerless, she feels like she's failing everyone who believed in her. Jada's complexity is her heartbeat. She's not just fighting for freedom, she's wrestling with her own identity. How to be a black woman who's brilliant but not boastful, ambitious but not reckless. The badge, meant to symbolize her triumph, now feels like a scarlet letter, exposing her to a scrutiny she's spent years dodging. Her silence about the internship, once a shield, is now a shackle, making her look guilty when all she's done is follow the rules. The Atlanta PD precinct is a fluorescent-lit purgatory, reeking of stale coffee, burnt popcorn, and the sour tang of bleach. Jada sits on a hard metal bench in a holding cell, her wrists bruised from cuffs that were snapped on too tight. The booking process, fingerprints smudged onto a scanner, a mugshot that burns shame into her bones, has reduced her to a case number, a suspect, a problem to be solved. Officers Jenkins and Reese drift in and out, their smirks like salt in a wound. They're locked into their story. An eyewitness, Darnell Tate, swears he saw a girl in a hoodie sprint from the Chevron after the robbery, and Jada's their match. She repeats her alibi. Group project at Morehouse, a Zoom with her advisor, a dozen classmates who'd vouch for her, but it's like shouting into a hurricane. "Check my story," she pleads, her voice hoarse. Jenkins rolls his eyes, his buzz cut catching the light. "We'll get to it," he mutters, as if her innocence is a chore he'll never bother with. The cell is a pressure cooker for Jada's fears. She's always been the fixer in her family, the one who'd calm Malik when Tasha worked doubles, who'd stretch a $20 grocery budget to feed them for a week. But here, stripped of agency, she feels like she's betraying them. She pictures Tasha pacing their duplex, her braids swinging, her voice tight with worry. Malik, only 14, probably asking why Jada's not home to quiz him on vocab. The DoD badge, mocked as a fake, sits in an evidence bag somewhere. A cruel twist of fate. It was supposed to be her proof of belonging, a tangible "I made it." Now, it's a liability, turning her achievement into a lie in their eyes. Jada's isolation isn't just physical, it's existential. She spent years building a version of herself that's bulletproof. Top grades, no drama, a smile that disarms doubters. But the precinct strips that away, leaving her raw and exposed. She replays the Chevron scene, second-guessing every choice. Should I have walked a different route? Should I have flashed the badge sooner? Doubt gnaws at her, but so does defiance. She's Jada Williams, damn it. Morehouse scholar, DoD intern, Tasha's daughter. She won't let them erase her. Jenkins and Reese aren't cartoon villains. They're products of a system that rewards results over truth. Jenkins, nearing 50, is a relic of old-school policing, his buzz cut and concrete jaw masking a man eroded by decades of quotas and compromises. He doesn't hate Jada. He barely sees her as a person. She's a means to an end, a stat to bolster his record before he coasts into retirement. His laughter at the badge isn't just cruelty, it's disbelief. In his world, kids from Campbellton Road don't land DoD gigs. They're suspects, not success stories. That blind spot makes him dangerous, but also tragic, a man who's traded justice for cynicism. Reese, in his early 30s, is ambition personified, a wiry climber who sees every bust as a rung on his ladder to detective. His smirk hides a deeper insecurity, a need to prove he's tougher, smarter, better than the streets he patrols. Jada's articulate alibi, her calm under pressure, unsettles him. It feels like a challenge to his control. When he snaps the cuffs on her, it's not just protocol, it's personal, a way to reassert dominance. His ego drives him to double down even when cracks in the case appear. Together, Jenkins's apathy and Reese's hunger form a perfect storm, their flaws amplifying the stakes of Jada's fight. A shift comes in the form of Detective Angela Hayes, a black woman in her 40s whose badge gleams with authority, but whose eyes carry a quiet empathy. She steps into the holding area, her presence cutting through the precinct's chaos like a blade. "You're Jada Williams?" she asks, her voice low but firm. Jada nods, wiping her damp cheeks with her sleeve. "All right, let's get you processed out," Hayes says, unlocking the cuffs with a gentleness that feels like a lifeline. As they move to a desk for final steps, fingerprints already taken, mugshot a humiliating memory, Hayes notices Jada's trembling hands and slides a chair over. "You okay to make a call after this?" she asks, gesturing to a phone. Jada's breath catches, a chance to reach Tasha, to anchor herself to something real. She dials 404-555-2198, the number etched into her soul since she was 6. Tasha answers on the second ring, her voice tight with dread. "Jada, where are you at, baby?" "Mom," Jada chokes out, "they arrested me. I'm at the station." Tasha's gasp cuts deep, but her tone shifts to steel. "Stay calm. I'm coming. I'm calling Marcus." Marcus, their neighbor and a paralegal, isn't a lawyer, but he's all they've got. A man who's fought lease disputes and knows the system's edges. Hayes lingers nearby, her expression unreadable but not cold. Unlike Jenkins and Reese, whose egos feed on power, Hayes carries herself with purpose. Jada senses it. Hayes sees her, not just a file. It's a crack in the precinct's armor, a reminder that not every cop is out to break her. Hayes, we learn, has her own history. 20 years on the force, navigating a system that's often doubted her too. She's not Jada's savior, but she's an ally, a woman who knows what it's like to fight for a seat at the table. 2 days later, Jada stands in the Fulton County Courthouse, a hulking brick fortress she's passed on MARTA rides but never entered. The arraignment is a gut punch. Her orange jumpsuit chafes, the judge's voice a monotone drone. Marcus fights for her, waving Morehouse attendance records and a Breeze card log showing Jada was miles away during the robbery. "She's a college student, no record," he argues, his voice steady but thin against the prosecutor's swagger. The assistant DA, a slick man in a cheap suit, counters, "She's got a questionable DOD ID, claims it's federal. Flight risk." Jada's stomach drops. The badge, her lifeline, is being twisted into a trap. The judge, peering over wire-rimmed glasses, sets bail at $10,000, more than Tasha could scrape together in a year. Jada's marched back to lockup, the gates clang a death knell. In her cell, Jada's mind churns. She's left a frantic voicemail for Ms. Carter, her DOD liaison, begging for help, but the silence is deafening. The internship's secrecy, meant to shield sensitive projects, now feels like betrayal. What if the feds stayed quiet to dodge headlines? Her Morehouse acceptance, her scholarship, Tasha's pride, all hang in the balance. Jenkins and Reese saunter by, their taunts a reminder of her powerlessness. "Should have confessed, saves us time," Jenkins drawls, and Jada's fists clench. She's not just fighting for freedom, she's fighting to be seen as more than a stereotype. Late that night, a guard's voice pierces the cell block's quiet. "Williams, visitor." Jada stumbles to the visitation room, where Ms. Carter waits behind scratched plexiglass, her blazer crisp, her hair in a tight bun. Jada grabs the phone, tears spilling. "Ms. Carter, they think I robbed that Chevron. They don't believe the badge." Carter's voice is calm but resolute. "I got your message, Jada. I'm sorry it took so long. Had to clear it with brass. We're fixing this." She's drafted an affidavit, verifying Jada's role in the high-potential STEM program without exposing classified details. "You shouldn't be here," Carter says, her eyes softening. Hang tight. Jada presses a hand to the glass, hope flickering like a candle in a storm. Carter isn't just a bureaucrat, she's a mentor who saw Jada's spark at a STEM fair 2 years ago, who pushed her to apply for the internship when Jada doubted herself. Her promise carries weight, but Jada knows the system doesn't bend easily. Back in her cell, she hugs her knees, whispering her grandmother's prayers, willing herself to believe salvation is coming. The next morning, Marcus and Tasha storm the precinct with Carter's affidavit, demanding an emergency hearing. By noon, Jada's back in court, wrists uncuffed, her heart racing. The judge reviews the DOD seal, his skepticism waning. Marcus lays out Jada's alibi. Morehouse witnesses, bus logs, timestamps. The prosecutor stammers, clutching Darnell Tate's shaky statement. But the judge cuts him off. Bail's granted. $1,000 cash or bond. Tasha scrambles to a bondsman, and hours later, Jada steps into Atlanta's muggy air, collapsing into her mother's arms on the courthouse steps, the weight of freedom both exhilarating and fragile. The full hearing, days later, is a reckoning. Marcus grills Tate on the stand. His citing unravels. He's a barbershop regular who mixed up days. His story flimsy under pressure. Ms. Carter testifies, her words clipped and authoritative, cementing Jada's innocence without spilling classified details. The prosecutor's case collapses, Jenkins and Reese's smirks fading as the judge's gavel falls. Charges dismissed. Jada gasps, tears streaming, free at last. Whispers ripple through the gallery, rumors of the officer's corruption, a pattern of framed innocence. Jada doesn't stop at freedom. With Detective Hayes, she digs into Jenkins and Reese's racket, paying Tate to finger innocent kids for stats. She rallies victims, teens from Bankhead, single moms from West End, into a coalition, their stories a chorus of resilience. Tate cracks under a plea deal, detailing cash handoffs in alleys, and Jenkins and Reese are arrested, charged with conspiracy and perjury. A jury strips their badges, sending them to prison. The city settles the coalition's lawsuit, funding Jada's tuition, Tasha's roof repairs, and others' recovery. Reforms follow: stricter informant rules, mandatory body cams, bias training with teeth. August dawns, and Jada returns to Morehouse, her internship secure, her dorm alive with laughter and outcasts' beats. She's no longer just a student. She's a symbol, a black woman who, at 20, toppled a corrupt tower. Her story, blazed across WSB-TV, sparks others to rise. Justice isn't handed out. It's seized. And Jada's proof one voice can shake the foundations of power. What did Jada's journey stir in you? Did her fight for justice resonate, or do you see cracks in the system that still need fixing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your perspective. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our next story. More tales of courage and truth are coming your way.